Interesting conversation indeed we're about to have with Adirunke Olusheye, also known as Dibia. She holds certifications as a certified holistic nutritionist, nutrition and health coach, holistic health practitioner, naturopath, nutrition scientist, and aromatherapy. Wow. She's also registered with the Canadian Association for Integrative Nutrition as a holistic nutrition practitioner, with HCA Canada, and the list goes on. But I would just stop right here. This morning, she will be discussing the power of greens, exploring the wonders of greens and fruits for all-round health impacts for individuals for all ages. Good morning.
Good morning, Irene.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
I see that you are what you preach. You have it right there in the palm of your hands, really handy. The power of greens. Okay, so first off, we need to establish what greens are so that people, really understand, what class of greens are. So when you're talking greens, let's look at it holistically.
So when we say greens, greens fall under, so all the classes of food are actually contained in your vegetables. So green vegetables are what we call greens, or green vegetables. So we have your, let me bring it down to our local greens. We have ugu, we have cucumbers will also go under greens. We have spinach, we have our local F4 green,
F4.
tete, water leaf, your bitter leaf, your scent leaves. Those are the kinds of greens that we readily find around us, right? And then for those of us that are in the diaspora, and for those of us that are in the diaspora, you have your celery, you have your kale, you have your broccoli. That's for those that are in the diaspora, I mean outside Nigeria. So we have greens around us. There is no tree that fruits that doesn't have greens. Before a tree will fruit, there has to be the green leaves. So I like to say that your fruits will not exist without greens, and that's just the truth, right? And it's so interesting because the life and the power that our greens embed, we have no idea. We just see them as things that we just pluck on the roads, and no. First of all, what makes our greens greens, it's a pigment called chlorophyll. And if we understand how chlorophyll works and what it does, we will know that the chlorophyll is actually the life of the plant.
Yes.
The chlorophyll is what the plant uses to synthesize from the sun and produces oxygen and glucose, which the plant in itself needs to reproduce and to grow and to develop. And so when we as human beings take in chlorophyll, we're literally taking in the life of the plant. And chlorophyll has such an amazing effect on our blood. It is a detoxification, a very natural detoxification gift that we have been given freely, right? So greens are just amazing.
Now let's talk about how to properly utilize these greens for the benefits of our health.
Yes.
How do we incorporate it into our everyday diets?
Okay, to incorporate it to our everyday diet, that's really not hard. So first things first, we must establish the fact that greens must be, I use the word must because it is critical when it comes to our health. It is something that on a daily basis we must incorporate into our diet. I mentioned the power of greens being able to detoxify our system. And detoxification should actually be an everyday. It should be every day. It's not something that you do once in a while and then just go. But then it's also not complicated. As simple as taking cucumber every day, first thing in the morning.
You have to chew it, or you can just put it in a bottle of water.
You can juice it. You can blend it up as smoothie, whichever one suits you.
Okay.
A lot of people would do well with drinking. I do well with drinking than chewing. When I'm taking fruits, I would chew. But when it comes to my greens, I like to juice it. Of course, because also the sugar content in your greens are not so high. So if you juice it, it is not spiking your blood sugar levels in any way.
Okay.
So greens are actually very good for people that are diabetic, for instance. You wake up every morning and the first thing you do is take a glass of greens. Vegetables now, to be precise, for people that are diabetic.
So for a diabetic patient, what would you suggest, or what would you advise that they take, in terms of their greens?
In terms of greens, you should just any green leafy vegetables around you would work. Like I said, their sugar levels are almost non-existent, so it does not do anything when it comes to spiking your blood. If anything, they actually even help to reduce your blood pressure levels, right? And also, if you now, for people that are diabetic, it will be nice for them to blend it up. So when you're blending it up, you blend with a lot of water. What that does is that it makes it fluid and viscous enough. So you drink it, you are taking in the fiber. If you have a very good blender, it will literally, shred
it
all
into
the fat
pieces,
into pieces, and you don't even know
see
that
them at all.
Drinking or you're chewing the fiber. So you take the fiber, which helps to slow down the rate at which blood is released into your body, because that's one of the things that we miss out a lot on in our everyday
life.
diet. We don't have enough fiber in them. So with fiber, it helps to reduce how sugar is being released into the body. Right. So I tell people it's best taken first thing in the morning. That is not to say you cannot take it at other times of the day, but when you take it first thing in the morning, your body system is.
So is this the minute you wake up, or you go grab a bite and then, take it?
Before you take anything.
Before you take anything. Okay.
You can drink water, right? If you are the type that likes to take herbal teas, you can take herbal teas. And then the next thing you're taking, before or after that, would be your greens. Like for me, this is the first thing. I've taken some while I was...
So quickly tell us what's in here.
So in here, I have rodo leaves, that's pepper, but it's not peppery.
Okay.
People will think that because I said rodo leaves, it's not peppery at all.
It's the leaves from the pepper plant.
Then I have tomato leaves in here. I have bitter leaf in here, so I decided to switch it up. I started this. Today is day 13, right? So I decided to switch it up, this week by adding some bitters to it. Why? Because of my liver. So bitters do great for the liver. If you notice, the bile is, just somewhere around the liver. The gallbladder is somewhere around the liver. So when you take bitters, things like bitter leaves, it helps to stimulate and enhance and, just helps to optimize your liver health. So that's why I decided to.
And then you also have apples in there as well, to just,
and I have cucumber in here, right? So people don't, I just listed a number of things. You don't have to go this way, this route. I have all of these things in my compound, right? So, but you can, if it is just bitter leaf you have in your compound,
that is okay.
Just take like 100 ml shot of bitter leaf.
I mean, we can't exhaust this conversation. We definitely have to have it where we break down, these leafy greens and the benefits they have on our health, each of them, so that people really understand, the benefits of this, having these greens. But thank you so much for the conversation. We'll continue again next week, Tuesday, Wednesday rather. Yeah, fantastic. And that's it on nutrition, guys. The show continues, but I'd like you to stay with us.